Yeah, welcome back everybody to yet another Revit video. Okay, so we're continuing with this multi-level project. So previously we were talking about phases and applying them, and if we go to our project browser, we can see that we've now got existing, demolition and proposed floor plans, so we can clearly define what phase we're in. Okay, so what I want to do now is just look a little bit further, perhaps working our way down this bit of land, and just seeing what sort of results we can obtain, I suppose. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to create another level, maybe a couple of levels actually. What I might do is just create a basement level as a start point, and let's just see how we go with that. Okay, right, so architecture tab, we go to our datum and we create our level by clicking on that button there. Okay, so I'm going to grab it. I'm going to do a couple here, so I'm going to give a level around about 400 mil below the existing ground floor plan. That's going to give me plenty of space to put structural elements in there. Okay, I'm going to relabel that as basement ceiling. Click out of that and say yes. Okay, there it is there in our project browser at the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to show you, so that's one way of doing a level. You just draw the line. Okay, you can copy these levels, but what you'll find is that they don't appear in here. But I'm going to show you this method and then show you how to obtain levels that disappear, because they can do. Okay, so I'm going to left click on my basement ceiling here. I'm going to use the copy function, and I'm just going to drag it down here, and I'm going to give my basement a height of 2.4 meters, 2,500 millimeters. I'm going to go enter. Okay, I'm going to relabel it. Okay, as basement minus the spelling mistakes. Click out of that. Okay, you'll see a couple of things you'll see here. Number one, we've gone into minus territory, not a problem. Number two, the level head is black versus blue here. Okay, so, and you'll see that the basement does not appear when we look at our project browser. The basement does not appear in here. How do I get that back? Okay, I go to this view tab in my ribbon. I click on plan views, and for this one I'm after a floor plan. Okay, and there it is there. And sometimes when you uncheck this, okay, you do get other plans as well. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one we choose. But I'm just going to click on that. I'm just going to choose my basement and just go OK. What it does is it brings the basement plan, that floor plan up, but there it is there. If we look at our browser, our basement is there, and if I go back to our elevations, the elevation marker is now blue, which means that corresponds to there. Okay. Now what we're going to try and do is we're going to put a basement in round about here, and we're just going to see what happens when we start adding this sort of information in. So I am going to go to my basement plan and my floor plans. So Okay, now I have a problem. I can't see my existing floor plans, so I have no reference as to what's going on. Okay, go to my properties bar here. Okay, I have these things called underlays. Okay, In this case it's going to be an overlay. Okay, but this is like adding another layer to our sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one here, my ground floor plan existing. I'm going to go to apply. Okay, we can see it. It's very, very lightly ghosted up. There it is there. Okay, so that's our ground floor plan. So it can be a little bit tricky to sort of see things. Now if I click on my topo surface and hide that from view, EH, hide from view, or hide selected elements from view. Okay, this is a little bit clearer. I don't need the topo surface right now. Okay, so I'm in my basement plan. we're going to go to the massing and site tools. Okay, if you're a Revit Lite, you will only have site, you won't have massing. Okay, and we have done this before in the past. We're going to apply a building pad. Okay, so left click on the building pad. Okay, now remember, a building pad is basically a floor that interacts directly with the topo surface. If the topo surface is not there, you cannot use this function. But the beauty of what it does is that it cuts and it fills with the topo surface. So I'm going to draw this pad. I'm going to draw a rectangle like that to start off with, and then I'm just going to drag it in a bit there. Okay. Right here. So that's going to be a flat pad. So now if I left click that, okay, check the finish the sketch mode. Let's have a look in 3D. Ta-da! There we go. So what we're now seeing here, okay, there's our building pad. All of this is the topo surface that has been cut, okay, and that is what we're seeing. Okay, so quite interesting there. Now, do we have time? Well, we have time for one more. I'm going to put a building pad on top of this one as well. Okay, so that is at the ground floor plan proposed. Okay, so everything I draw in here is going to be a proposed element. So we're just going to repeat that. So mesh in site, building pad, just use the rectangle tool. This time I'm going to do that. Okay, so these two pads, they can share this common line here, but what I can't do is I can't do that. Okay, if I try and do that and click the answer thing, okay, it'll tell me, or tell you, okay, that pads can't overlap but they can share edges. So if I cancel that, okay, drag that edge there, so this is a shared edge, the building pads will do that quite happily. So again, click the green tick to finish that. Let's have a look in 3D. There we go. Okay, so we're starting to see, so this one's here doing a tiny bit of fill and a little bit of cut in there as well. So the interesting part is what's going to happen out here. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that for now. Okay, so I'm going to let you experiment with putting building pads in and up and down and trying different levels, all this sort of jazz. The beauty of all of this again with Revit is that if we've made a mistake and our levels aren't right, it's very easy for us to fix these things, as long as we spot those errors early on. As with all architecture, if you try to make big changes when you're well and truly ensconced into a project, you can find that those changes can be pretty hard to make. So yeah, we'll try and spot our mistakes a little bit earlier. Okay, okie dokie gang, we will catch you later.